Good. Can you all see me? Okay. Good evening, everyone, or good morning, wherever you are. Thanks for being here in my new live stream. It's me, Ari Dusted, Commerce Sheet. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. Hit the like button, share this live stream, become a member of the channel, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to donate the links below. Thank you very much. All right. First thing first, can you all hear me? Can you all hear me clearly? Let me know, please. For those that are here, let me know in the live chat if you can hear me clearly. As you can see, I'm walking outside right now. I got my hoodie on just in case there's a little wind coming against the headset. Okay, so, okay, good. You can hear me? Justin's here. Hello, Justin. I'm glad you're here. All right, I'm going right into the topic right now. When Christ did his ministry, there was a time, you can read it yourself. You can read through the Gospels yourself, okay? There was a man that was sick. Christ came. Christ healed the man, okay? And after Christ healed him, Christ told them, don't tell anyone about this. No, hold up. Why would Christ do something good and he wouldn't want others to know about the good thing he just did? Just praying because some ambulance passed by. Whoever needs help, just pray for them. But anyway, okay, why would Christ do something good and then tell someone, don't tell anyone about it? Why would he do crap like that? I mean, if someone was sick, everyone in the neighborhood saw this individual was sick. And now the individual is walking around in a happy mood. Of course, we're going to ask, how is this possible? What happens? So, if that individual would say, I'm healed, would say, yeah, duh, of course we can see you're healed, but how come you're healed? If they don't tell them it's Christ, they would have to come up with some other excuse how they're healed. Doesn't that border giving a false testimony? It does. And is it giving a false testimony against the Ten Commandments? It is. But okay, you should be hearing me right now. Uh, am I correct? Can you hear me now again? Let me know, please. Okay, let me tell you what happened. I was still doing the live stream, as I'm still doing right now, and someone called me. When I called this individual earlier today, they didn't call back. But for some reason, now that I'm doing a live stream, right now at the time, they're calling back. I'm not blaming this individual, wherever it is, but it shows you that it's a distraction. But anyway, let me continue. Christ did not give the Ten Commandments to all of mankind. He gave it to the Israelites back then to show them that they cannot live life without the guidance of the Heavenly Father. Simple as that. That's why he gave the Ten Commandments back then. So if in the commandment is written, do not give a false testimony, that was the commandment, but the one who gave the commandment is above that. So if the one who gave you the commandment tells you to do otherwise, you do otherwise. Simple as that. The commandment is not above the one who gave the commandment. So Christ healed this individual and told him, don't tell anyone. Guess what? This guy went out town telling everyone, Jesus healed me. Now, what was the result of this? The crowd came to find out who is Jesus that healed you. And now the crowd was pressing on Christ, and Christ could barely move around. So Christ now was hindered in healing other people because the public was hindering him. So now you understand why Christ told that man to shut his mouth and don't tell anyone, I healed you. I hope this is clear, okay? So, telling everyone the truth, what happens, that's the right thing to do. But there are times you have to stop doing what's right and do what is best. And too many believers don't see the difference. They think they should be doing what's right all the time. They should be doing good all the time. Doing what's right is right. Doing good is good. But there are times you have to let go of doing good and let go of doing what's right and do what is best. And too many believers do not discern this. They go out there doing what's right, doing good, without checking whether it's even proper to do good or right in the situation. Christ did not want this man to tell anyone he healed them because Christ knew the public did not want their narcissistic ease to be disrupted. About to cross the road. He knew the public didn't want their narcissistic ease to be disrupted. So Christ knew if people find out I healed this man, they will come up with excuses to hinder me doing the same throughout the community. So if that man would have obeyed Jesus or would have obeyed Christ, more people would have been healed easily. So his disobedience to Christ caused hinder to other people too. Because now Christ had more difficulty healing people because the crowd was hindering him. All right? Before I continue further, is it clear to you now why we should always focus on what the Heavenly Father wants in situation instead of doing things according to our instincts? Is that clear to you? There's nothing wrong with doing things according to your instincts because your instincts are natural. But your instincts are not always the best thing to follow. Okay? The Heavenly Father is above your instincts. So you should be in communion and prayer with Him daily so that you end up doing what is best. Okay? Similar. I remember in high school, they gave us a dilemma. Let's say it's the Second World War and the Nazis are looking for the Jews. And you have Jews hiding in your house. And a Nazi officer knocks on the door saying, haben Sie Juden here? In German, like, do you have Jews here? Are you going to say the truth? Yes, we have Jews here, they're in the basement. No, you're going to make up some nonsensical explanation to act like you don't know where Jews are. Because the bird say that's lying. No, it's not lying. Lying is when you bring danger by breaking trust. If there never was danger and safety nor trust at all, you can't lie. You can only lie if trust is broken collectively. If there never was trust but oppression, you cannot lie. So you don't tell the Nazi officer you have Jews in your house. Absolutely not. because that would mean you're complying with the mass murder. But Rashid, you're lying. You're not lying. But that's the thing. Naturally, you would be transparent and say exactly what goes on. But because you know the intention of the Nazi officer, you don't tell him the reality of what goes on. You give him misinformation to divert him away. And that's doing what's best. You know what I mean? Now, doing what's best should be our common attitude in life. But too many of us are not doing this. They're not. They are not doing what's best as the norm. Doing what's best should be our default state in life. No, for too many of us, doing what's right or doing good, which are religious attitudes, are our default way of operating. Doing what's right is right. It's not wrong with that. Doing good is not wrong with doing good, but it needs to be done in season. For example, helping the homeless people is a good thing to do, but some homeless people are not willing to face themselves and look for solutions. So you help them out, it's a good thing, but if they're not willing to receive the help properly, you're actually setting yourself up. So in that case, you refer them to a homeless shelter and keep moving. That's not being cruel, that's not being heartless, that's being realistic. Okay? Learn the following. It's not always proper to do what's right and to do good. If you understand that, you're far ahead than most believers. I'm telling you. Now, you'll understand where I'm heading with this. Okay? Now I'm going to start giving the parables. Okay? Okay. I watch crime documentaries often, just so you know. So I'm going to use an example from a crime documentary I watched maybe a few weeks ago. I watched too many of them. I don't even remember the titles of the shows or the videos I watched. But anyway, there was this guy who was convicted of murder. Okay, someone got killed, and the police arrested him as a suspect. And in a court of law, they found him guilty. The jury agreed that he was guilty. The judge agrees with it too. Now, it's a fact he was found guilty in a court of law. But the truth was he was innocent. He wasn't even around when the murder happened. He didn't even know the individual that was killed. But hey, according to society, he was a murderer, he was guilty. Why? Because an official institution, the courthouse, sentenced him. Okay? Now, the fact that this guy was innocent, and even the evidence shown in the courthouse did not add up, but still was found guilty, that shows that the courthouse in on it, that means the judge, the jury, the lawyers, that also means that the journalists in on it, because how come none of the journalists exposed this? That also means that the relatives of the victim who got murdered also in on it, likely because they just wanted to move on with life. That also means that even the family of the wrongly convicted also in on it, because they didn't fight for this man. So this guy, let's call him Jeffrey, he is wrongly convicted, and he's in prison. And let's say now that 5 years later, a journalist finds out about how horrible the court case was, and the journalist just goes out there, publishing all over social media how wrong the case was. Let's say this happened. Do you think the population is going to be happy with this? Let me know in the live chat. What do you think? Do you think the population is going to be happy with a journalist 5 years later exposing the whole case as a fraud? What do you think? Do you think the population is going to be happy with this? After one of their own institutions sentenced him? No. Because think about it. The reason why the criminal justice system works is because people are afraid to go to prison and miss years of their life. You know what I mean? Because people don't want to miss out on job opportunities, don't want to miss out on weddings, birthdays, don't want to miss out on parties. People don't want to miss out on life. And that is why People think if you just if you just work with the police, cooperate, everything will be fine. So the population, for them to admit that a random guy got sentenced to prison just because they needed to catch a bad guy to prove themselves, that will show them, hey, this can happen to you too. You could be set up too. And this is something people don't want to admit. They don't want to go through this. So they will say, well, he must be guilty because, hey, the police did their job. Because listen, if a guy's wrongly convicted, and it comes out right now, if some amateur journalist can expose how stupid the case was, and the guy was wrongly convicted, that would mean that the whole court system and the police are incompetent. Either incompetent or they're criminally involved in it. And both scenarios are terrifying for the public. So people will act, well, they will, even if the proof is shown in their face, this guy is innocent, they will still have to hold on to the verdict of the courthouse, because for them to admit that they are afraid of being violated, because that's what the governments do, they use violence on the citizens to keep them in check. For them to admit they're afraid of being violated would actually mean that their whole daily life is based on fear. And that means that most of the relationships are also shams because it's all based on avoiding discomfort. And this is something people don't want to admit. They don't want to go that far. People don't want to wake up and look at their mom, their dad, their spouse, their children, people at work, people around and realize, oh my God, this is just all of a sudden all doing because we're afraid of being abandoned. So how come this guy was innocent? And the evidence was so stupid. The evidence contradicted itself and he still was convicted. And nobody did anything about it. So it can happen to me too. Once this news comes out, more people are going to lose trust in one another. People are going to lose trust in the authorities, and that's going to have more harmful consequences. So no, people will not be happy with the journalists spreading it all around. That's why, if you're a journalist, most likely work for a media company, and the media company will tell you, don't publish a story. I know it's the truth, but hey, if you publish a story, we're going to get trouble. But let's go further. Jeffrey now is out of prison. He broke out of prison. As a matter of fact, it was the most guarded prison of the country he broke out of. So people thought, oh, 5 years. So people thought, hey, 5 years ago, someone was murdered. They caught the guy, Jeffrey. He's in prison for life now. And next day they know Jeffrey is somewhere on a beach in Japan, having some holiday. And they think, huh? How is it possible? Was he convicted for murder? And then he found out he broke out of prison. So he broke out of prison, and the news out there that he was innocent all along. Now, it's one thing for someone to be wrongly convicted by a court of law. That already is a big embarrassment to the population. What another embarrassment is when the wrongly convicted has to take matters in their own hands because people aren't doing shit about it. So the guy was both wrongly convicted and he broke out of prison. How did he break out of prison? Either the prison system doesn't work, because if he could break out of prison, it means others can break out of prison too. So what's the use of even having prisons? That means the whole fairy tale of bad people are in prison, where good folks is gone also, and the public doesn't want this fairy tale to be broken. Or it means someone in prison worked with him. And that means, yeah, if there's one individual that worked with him in prison, it means there are more like that. So now people are getting paranoid too. So in any case, the injustice against this Jeffrey could not be overthrown without upsetting the public who's part of the injustice. Do you understand what I just said over there? The injustice against this Jeffrey could not have been overthrown without upsetting the public who's part of the injustice. Is that clear to you? If that's clear to you, I can go on to the next parables, because I want to show you something about breakthroughs we don't hear in church. Even on YouTube, many YouTube pastors don't talk about it. So, you cannot overthrow justice without upsetting those involved in the injustice. Okay, let's say there's sex trafficking going on. Women are kidnapped and put in brothels run by pimps. Okay, so let's say now the police comes and arrests the pimp and free those women. Yeah, that would be, people say problem solved. No. Because how come sex trafficking is a thing that community to begin with? How come? Because sex trafficking is there to provide prostitution. And the prostitution needs customers. Without customers, it's useless to do sex trafficking. And because sex trafficking has many customers, that's why the criminals are able to pay those kidnappers so much money to do the kidnapping. Okay, that's why they consider it worthwhile to kidnap those women and put them in brothels. If prostitution did not bring in much money, if there weren't many clients or many how to say customers, guess what? There wouldn't be any prostitution around because what's the use of it? So if the police enters in and shuts down one brothel where women were sex trafficked, people say, "Hey, great news! We can't catch the bad guys." But hold on a minute. What about the customers who kept going to that brothel? They know it's a bad situation. Just women are likely kidnapped and forced over there, and they still paid to have sex with them while the women were there against their will. Even if they were not against their will, prostitution is a bad thing. And guess what? If most of the customers are other criminals or low-life men who are not doing anything in life, will say, "Oh my God." They could easily process it. But what if many of the customers of those brothels are married men, politicians, medical doctors, people with high positions? In that case, shutting down that brothel may backfire because that brothel was an outlet for the sexual dysfunction of a lot of those men. If they don't have the brothel anymore as an outlet for their sexual dysfunction, that means that dysfunction will become an irritation and it will come out in an ugly way in other forms in the community. So let's say you want to stop sex trafficking. That's a noble thing that you want to do. I agree with that. But you also need to admit that sex trafficking is not something that just came out of thin air. It's there because the public doesn't want to face themselves nor deal with what goes on in life. That's why. So either people pretend like there's no sex trafficking happening, that's what people often do, or they do pay attention to it, or they pay attention to the pimps or the kidnappers. But they never talk about the fact the community is silent and keeping it going. All right? So imagine hearing that your mayor of your city used to visit a brothel with underage prostitutes. Wow, that would not look good on your city. Absolutely not. Neither for business, neither socially. Indeed, they like to look down on victims if they are not, they will make some. Absolutely. I see a lot said it perfectly. Now, going back to that example of this Jeffrey who broke out of prison. Now, I'm going to give another parable, okay? Just bear with me. Okay, one day you wake up, you walk through your house. Then you find out, hey, I can't find my red pen. So you look everywhere for your red pen because you need your red pen to write some things down. But you notice that you can't find your red pen anywhere. No, so you think, oh, maybe I put my red pen somewhere, I forgot where it was, so you just let it go. Let's say you wake up a few days later and see that your helmet is gone. And you think, where's my helmet? And you think, oh man, I may have left it in the barn. So you look in the barn, the helmet is not there. And a few days later again, now you notice that um, some of your DVDs, if you still have those DVDs and CDs are gone, and think, what the hell? How come I keep losing stuff recently? You go to bed, you think, whatever. During the holidays, I'll look for everything. And guess what? One day you leave work, when you arrive home, everything is gone from your house. Everything is gone. If the carpet is gone, even the paper on the wall is gone. Everything is gone. It's like nobody ever lived there. Oh my God. You begin to scream. You lose your mind. The neighbors have to come out to call the cops for you. Your whole house is empty. And then later you find out, like a few weeks later, that some weirdo across the city has sold all your stuff on the black market and made good money out of it, and another individual is left the country. Now, what can you do after the fact, after you've been robbed, after your stuff has been sold? Can you still gather your stuff back? No, you cannot, because it's spread all over the earth right now. And the individual who did it, even if he would be arrested, you still went through the loss. And in this case, you don't even know where they are anymore because they left the country. The parable of Jeffrey breaking out of prison and the truth coming out, he was wrongly convicted all along. This other parable I gave to you now, that suddenly your whole house has been emptied and there's nothing you can do about it anymore. I'm telling you, that's how a breakthrough is. You understand me here? A breakthrough is the same as a breaking in. A breakthrough is the same as trespassing. Let me give another example. Let's say you go to the supermarket nearby. The supermarket did not invite you individually, Kevin or Shalisa, come to the supermarket to buy something. They didn't. They gave out a collective invitation. They opened the doors of the supermarket. You're welcome to come to buy. But guess what? This collective invitation, does that mean you go into the supermarket, grab whatever you want, and leave? No. There's a rule. You need to pay for it. Okay? One thing. Another rule may be, if you're in the supermarket, you're not allowed to just be there chilling. You have to be there to buy stuff. Another thing is, if you're in a supermarket, certain rooms you're not allowed to enter, where only the staff's allowed to come. You hear me? They expect certain conduct towards the employees. So, at supermarkets or at restaurants, they give collective invitations just to get customers. But it's an invitation, so there's a condition bound to you coming to the location. Or let's say now there's a wedding happening and you're invited to the wedding. Okay, the fact is the fact that it's based on individual invitations means that either the capacity for guests is low because it's done in a building, and the building, you can't have 10,000 people in a building, so they can't invite 10,000 people. So that's why they have to select who they invite. It's only people they consider important that they invite. If you're invited to a wedding, that means that you've been considered important enough to be there. But guess what? The fact you've been selected to be there means that people have an expectation of you being there. Do you think they would invite the ex-boyfriend of the bride, and she and the ex-boyfriend broke up in a horrible way? Likely not, because the ex-boyfriend being there with the trauma still ongoing of the breakup that happened a little while ago, it will disrupt the atmosphere of the wedding. And let's say he is invited, he's only invited because he is over the breakup and he's cheering her married other men now. So what I'm saying is that an invitation always comes with a condition or conditions for you to comply with. Let's say you have a festival going on, a free festival. A free festival means you don't have to buy tickets. If it's a free festival, anyone can come in and out. Okay, but still they will put police officers there just in case people begin to brawl or sexual harass or whatever. Okay, so whether it's a collective invitation or a personal invitation, an invitation always comes with a condition. So an invitation is a way to control an outcome. We don't want just anyone to come to the wedding. Only people that will contribute to the celebration of the sexual union, only they are welcome. Or let's say um, you have a school, okay, and you need teachers to teach the children. You don't want sex predators or people that were convicted for child pornography to work there at the school, because that will harm the reputation of the school and you may endanger children. So only safe teachers are you should allow over there. So sometimes the invitation is a good thing because you actually filter out bad people. But nevertheless, an invitation is a selection, and selection is based on conditions. Look, drug dealers who have a meeting on how to avoid being catched by the cops will not invite a police officer there unless police officers corrupt like they are. But most likely they will not. Okay? So if you're not invited by drug dealers to attend their criminal meeting, be happy because you're involved in a bad situation. Simple as that. So some invitations are not worth it. Because if you're, let's say you have a bunch of pedophiles in some club, and they're doing some weird shit behind the scenes, and now they decide to invite certain people to that weird shit party. If they consider inviting you, even the police will think, why they invite you? They're doing crazy shit with children over there, but yet they invite you. Why do they even invite you? So some invitations are not worth it, okay? But just, an invitation is a selection, and a selection comes with conditions. It's all about managing or sometimes even controlling outcome. Now, human beings don't have control. Even a lot of people are delusional thinking they have control, but invitation is selection with conditions to manage an outcome, okay? So when you go, let's say you go to a party, you buy your tickets, you go to a party. That ticket entitles you to enter the party, but you still need to comply with the dress code and with the regulations of the location. So if it's a no smoking party, you don't smoke, whatever. Um, so and even in the party, there are informal expectations. For example, certain people group together will know each other very well. You expect not to interrupt their social gathering, whatever. So there are conditions. Let's say now you have a party, and the people enter the party without any tickets. They're just there. If there's security officers who work there, or they're undercover police officers, that's different because they have a purpose to be there. What if people just came in, they didn't pay for the ticket, but just enjoyed the party? All the people that did pay for the party are going to think, what the heck is this? We have to pay for it, stand in line to get our ticket, and just walk in like that. It's going to make other people feel violated. So now you have the security guards kicking out because you don't have a ticket. But the fact alone, you pass by security and you're there without a ticket already makes people think, what the heck is going on here? Well, that's trespassing. But let me tell you, your breakthroughs as a believer are the same as trespassing, jailbreaks, and burglaries. It's the same thing. Why? Because when you break through, you are disrupting the darkness of the public. Because listen, in the Western world, we have this fairy tale of seeing ourselves as individuals. Now, you are the individual human being, but you are a social creature that comes from a collective. And the collective shaped you. Your first name didn't come from you, neither did your last name. Your facial features didn't come from you, okay? Your native language didn't come from you. You've been shaped by the environment, okay? So let's say you grew up in a ghetto. How come that place is a ghetto? It's because it's neglected collectively. But okay, so you have a neighborhood that's neglected, but you have other neighborhoods that are well maintained. Why are those other neighborhoods well maintained? This one is neglected. Okay, are the people living in this neighborhood that's neglected? Are there human beings like those other people in other neighborhoods? And how come the city council is not dealing with the neglect in the neighborhoods? So on purpose, certain neighborhoods are neglected. So and people don't do anything about it, get along with it. Why? Because if they're bad neighborhoods, you can always look down on that bad neighborhood and feel better about yourself. So to provide narcissistic relief to the public, they make sure certain neighborhoods are neglected. So everyone can say, well, at least I'm not from that neighborhood, whatever. So if you were born in this ghetto, the expectation is that because you're from this ghetto, you will not have good opportunities in life. Okay? Because A, if coming from if a neighborhood is bad, that means what neighborhood brings what should also be bad. And that's why they keep the neighborhood neglected to keep people stressed out and damaged over there. So if you come from a damaged neighborhood, you did not damage yourself. You've been damaged by the collective neglect. So if you're from that neighborhood and you want to succeed in life, you're going to face hinder from the people. Because when people find out you're from this neighborhood, they don't want to hire you at the job or they try to discriminate against you, whatever. Why? Because their self-worth as the people rely on those neighborhoods being bad. They look down on those neighborhoods and people who were born and raised there so that they can feel good about themselves. So for them to acknowledge you from that bad neighborhood would go against the foundation of their self-worth. And people are not going to do this. So if you're from a bad neighborhood and you end up getting a job as a manager at a bank or some prestigious job, you get a prestigious job will be perceived as trespassing the boundaries of that community. Why? Because only people from good neighborhoods who worked hard, so-called, are allowed to get prestigious jobs. But you getting this prestigious job, you're from a bad neighborhood, it means that the whole collective agreement is based on violence. And nobody wants to admit they're part of the violence, that they are mentally unreliable, and that's why they get along with this. So you having this breakthrough, getting this outcome that people are hindering, is going to make the people feel violated. It's going to make people feel angry. But that's what it is. So understand this. Your breakthrough is okay. Let me give another example to you. Let's say you go to Instagram. For those who have Instagram, some of you don't. Okay, Instagram is this social media where people share a lot of videos and pictures. Let's say you're on Instagram. You and your buddy just broke into a house and stole all the jewelry. Okay, and now you're on Instagram saying, "Yo, guys, look at all this jewelry we stole over here. We broke in and stole all this, man." And you brag about stealing from that house over there. When people see that, are they going to rejoice, say, "Wow, well done, man"? Are they going to like it? No, because the police will come after you for breaking in, and the police will look at a social media post. They'll see 50 people liked it. Now, the 50 people that liked it likely are not involved. People still going to think, hold on a minute. These guys broke into that house. They're celebrating it on social media. People are liking it. What is people? So even the police would think, why celebrating people breaking in? So the police cannot come and arrest you because you're not the one that broke in and robbed that house, but they may think you're sympathizing people who do. So they may take a note of you. Okay? So if someone comes on social media bragging how they robbed a place and took all the money, all the jewelry, people are not going to celebrate on social media. Well, guess what? In the same way, when you break through as a believer, I don't care whether it's physical healing, I don't care whether it's you mentally recovering, I don't even care if it's a financial breakthrough, especially financial breakthrough. When you break through to the public who's in escapism, your breakthrough disrupts their daily ease. So they're going to perceive that as an attack, as as a violation, as trespassing, and as breaking in. That's how they're going to perceive it. Now, if you're on your way breaking through, they can still sabotage you. Some people even join you saying, "Hey, I'm here to help you out," while they're really there to sabotage you. That can happen. If you already did break through, and now there's a new outcome that people have to deal with, they're going to think, "We never asked for this. We never wanted this. What the heck?" People are not going to be upset with the new outcome. They can't stop. So now they will retaliate against you for having this better outcome. They're going to think you didn't ask us to have this outcome. You didn't ask us permission to have this outcome and affect us. Why do you have this outcome and we have to deal with it? They're going to be upset with you for not allowing them to control you. That's how the masses are. That's how it goes. Remember in the Bible, in the New Testament, there was this man that was born blind. There was this guy that was born blind, okay? And Christ healed the man. And the guy was about 40, okay? Now, the guy was walking around happily. And the religious authorities, scribes, and Pharisees were thinking, how the heck? Are you not a blind guy? How come you can see now? And then they brought him for court. So you may think, this is a blind man. He did not steal, he did not rob anyone, he didn't kill anyone, he did no harm. Why are you arresting a guy just in fact because he's healed? Why? Who did the healing? Jesus did. So that means that Jesus was relevant, and they were upset with that. So they even tried to call in his parents, and the parents told them, "Listen, he's a grown man. Let him speak for himself." Because they tried to put the blame on the parents. Why? Because in the minds of the religious authorities, Jesus was a heretic who didn't know what he was talking about. So if this heretic Jesus now is able to heal someone, and they have to deal with the consequence, that means they're all looking stupid. And they were upset with this. So now the man said, if God does not listen to sinners and this man helps me, this man must be from God. Based on that, the blind man was healed, was speaking facts. And they were upset with the facts he spoke, and they banned him from the synagogue. So they convicted an innocent man that God healed, simply for the fact that his better condition now disrupted the public ease. If the guy raped someone, or killed someone, or broke in somewhere, or slander someone, I can understand you're upset and want to take action against them. So why taking action against someone just because they're in a better condition now? I'm telling you, that's the world we're living in. Okay? Even his own parents, they don't want to intervene and say, hey, listen, leave our son alone. He's the better condition now. Shouldn't you be happy? He can see now and he can actually be part of the community. No, his parents didn't want to get involved because they knew that the people out there, people were upset. I'm telling you, your breakthroughs are the same as trespassing, breaking ins, and simply said, people are going to feel raped by you the moment you break through. Your better situation disrupts the darkness, and this disruption means that people are part of the of your better outcome. And they don't want to be, but they have to because they have no choice. They're going to feel raped and violated by you. And now they're going to seek for a way to blame you for how bad they feel. Because think about the example of the invitation. When you invite someone, you decide to invite them, you feel in charge. When someone just shows up, you feel like, okay, I have to deal with you now. People prefer to have control over our outcomes. Now, we have management, not control. But world people are all about control. They want to control everything, even when they actually have no control. So when you don't allow others to control you, neither outcomes in your life, they get upset with you and they will turn on you as they will have more hatred towards you than they have towards child molesters. Simple as that. Understand this well. Your breakthroughs are similar as breaking into the world. Why did Jesus say that his second coming is like a thief? Jesus said he will come as a thief. Talk about his second coming. Look, if the police is about to arrest a criminal, they're not going to announce on social media, hey, we're going to arrest this guy right now. Because then the criminal may run away. So it's obvious he will come unexpectedly. But Jesus did not say, I come as soldiers arresting a criminal. He didn't say that. He said, I come as a thief. Police officers arriving unexpectedly to arrest someone is not often considered um, a violation. It is not. But here's the thing: you go to someone's house, just walk in, take this from the fridge, relax over there. Just like that, people can think, what the heck is this? This perceived a violation. You consider a thief as someone that breaks in. And Jesus compared his second coming to a thief. Why would Christ compare himself to a thief? Because that's how he's perceived by the people in the world. That's why. So understand the following here. Your breakthrough believer will be perceived as a break-in. It will be perceived as trespassing. It will even be perceived as a type of spiritual rape in some cases. It will be perceived as a violation, and people will seek to take revenge on you for it. So your breakthroughs will be a fight that you'll have to overcome. Too many believers, they have this fairy tale expectation of a breakthrough. They think, oh, I just you go to church every Sunday, you pray intensely, you work very hard, and one day, magically out of the sky, the archangel Gabriel or Michael comes down with your outcomes. That's what they think a breakthrough is. No, a breakthrough is you admitting the bad situation, admitting that people are not in for a solution, admitting that going for a solution is going to make you look bad, it's going to make people turn on you, but nevertheless, with the power of God, you go for the solution anyway, in a wise way, without compromising yourself, and you end up having the better outcome. And now that you have the better outcome, you're already ahead of people retaliating against you, because you already have the outcome. That's what a breakthrough is. You get me? That's what a breakthrough is. But too many believers aren't taught properly what a breakthrough is. They have this fantasy fairy tale of praying for weeks, working hard, begging a lot in church, and suddenly, oh, so glorious, the outcome is here. And then they live happily ever after like no struggle ever happens. That's not a breakthrough. Now listen, a breakthrough is also not that you are in continuous fight all the time with other people. It's not a breakthrough. That means you're stuck in conflict. A breakthrough means you have better outcome, regardless of whether people are okay with outcome or not. And because of that, you are far better ahead in life. That's what a breakthrough is. That is what a breakthrough is. Praise the Lord. So, this is why many of you were hinted in a breakthrough, because your expectations were a bit off. So, accept the following: your breakthroughs are good, they should happen, but you're not going to be celebrated for them, and you are going to have people feeling violated if you are the bad guy. Simple as that. And do not underestimate how far world people will go to hinder good outcomes from happening. There are many churches established by the world with the purpose to hinder breakthroughs from believers. Many of these churches out there in the world are there for the mere fact to confuse you as a believer, so you don't break through in life. Amen. So, what do we do as believers? We continue to walk in love towards other people. We continue to walk in forgiveness. We continue to be peaceful on the inside, to be joyful and happy on the inside. And because of that, we are cautious how to relate to other people. Okay? So we should conceal information about the steps we're taking in life if we are aware that the people around us are not into better. If we're not into better, and it's not confirmed that if you want better, don't share any details about you getting any better. Simple as that. So, is this clear to you now? Why our breakthroughs are considered grievous violations by the world? Is it clear to you now? Okay. So, the reason I made this live stream is because I want you to be realistic about your situation, and I want you to have to have breakthroughs the right way. Safe breakthroughs don't really exist, because every breakthrough is a fight by the public against your better outcomes. But you can at least get your breakthroughs the best way without unnecessary hinder. That's what I want you to do. Look, eventually your better outcomes are going to be noticed anyway. So you don't have to go on social media and post all your good outcomes. Eventually people will find out anyway. But here's the thing: you should be able to share all good outcomes and people are celebrating it. That's how it should be. But unfortunately, that's not how world people are. They're jealous, envious, and bloodthirsty for revenge. Yes, a lot of worldly people are envious, jealous, and bloodthirsty for revenge. That's what they are. So when you break through, when you disrupt their escapism, they're going to become revengeful towards you. That's how they are. So, are you going to be sad now and depressed? No, you rejoice. Walk by faith, walk love towards other people, walk in forgiveness, be joyful and happy on the inside, do your part, decree, declare, fast, do all of that. When your better outcomes work out, keep your bad outcomes to yourself for now. You will have to talk about it at some point anyway, but in the beginning, keep to yourself, keep moving on. And when retaliation happens, you already have the better outcome. Don't If you announce what you're about to do, announce in a vague way, so people can never say that you were tricking them. I already made other live streams about this strategy. But even then, don't just invite people to the table who don't even want what your table has to offer. Don't invite people to your table if they don't want what your table has to offer. If you're about better outcomes, about solutions, then don't invite people to be part of solutions who don't care about solutions. If people are all about escaping and offloading, then don't invite them to be part of something they're not into. If they're not into solutions, don't invite them to your solution lifestyle. Simple as that. I hope this is clear to all of you. I did all of this in less than an hour. That is good. Praise the Lord. Amen. Are there any questions about this topic now? Let me know in the live chat. Let me know. Meanwhile, that you have time to ask questions, don't forget to hit the like button, like this live stream, share the live stream. with those who need it and will worthy to receive it, because not everyone wants solutions. Remember that. Share the live stream. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so yet. Become a member of the channel, and don't forget, donate in links below. If the Revolut link doesn't work, try it with Apple Pay. If not, you can always try the PayPal link also. Oh, and don't forget, feel free to go to my Amazon page and purchase some of my novels. Thank you very much. Thanks for your support. But anyway, let me see who has any questions here. I'm going to wait for a minute. If I get no question, a minute, I close down the live stream. Yes, I got all the information out in less than an hour. That's good. That's good. Despite the interruption. Okay. Okay, I didn't see any question. Well, thank you all for being here. Keep on creating with Christ. Be at peace. And don't forget, hit the like button, share, subscribe, become a member, donate. Check my Amazon novels. I'll see you next time. Shalom.